Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. So I surprised B with a trip down to North Carolina to go check out round 4 of the Cookout Summer Shootout to see what it was about. We've never been. There was a bunch of really cool cars. We got to meet Cauble Speed Shop. We picked up some really cool parts. We're going to talk about those in a second. And then we also had a surprise trip to Spire Motorsports, and we went by Team Penske and seen how, you know, the professionals set up their shop, build their cars, and it was an absolute awesome experience.
It was really cool. That's it.
Look, there's true. That's true. So today we want to talk about the parts that we picked up from Cauble. So this is their new wiring harness and control panel. I had been looking at these since they posted them on Facebook. We started having
I also really wanted something really cool.
Since we started having our ignition problems that we thought we had ignition problems on the car, turned out to be fuel problems. Maybe we should update our wiring harness on the car. So while we were down there, we picked this up, and I had also been, kind of eyeballing their catch can system. Our car has an old plastic style. The filter got completely squished up whenever Brantley rolled the car over.
My bad.
So this one has, a remote locator for the breather that allows us to push this back behind the left tire, to avoid the possibility of getting oil underneath the tire, causing an incident. Trevor and Carson and the team over there, tested and dynoed this catch can system inside of, their shop. They offer, amazing tuning services. But they have, researched and developed this catch can system, and it is, by far, I guess, the most optimal catch can system you can get for, proficient horsepower and for keeping this out of your car from getting all oily and keeping the kids safe on the track. So today we're going to get the car out of the trailer and we're going to start installing, these awesome new parts from Cauble Speed Shop.
Really quick, I want y'all to listen how good this stuff sounds. It sounds so good.
Yeah. So I'll add one thing. With their wiring harness, they have two different versions, two different options, not versions. The options are the Pro and the Pro Plus. So the difference between the Pro and the Pro Plus is the Pro, you get, I believe it's a switch panel and then one wiring harness for your engine. For the Pro Plus, you get an additional wiring harness for an engine. So in the event that you have a spare engine, you can go ahead and have it pre-wired. You pull your old engine out, put your new engine in, plug it up, you're good to go. And it also comes with an adapter for you to plug into the factory Inex US Legends harness.
So you have like two different ones, and you have the adapters for both of them.
Right. However, warning.
This is your one and only warning.
Trevor did tell us that Inex has a new updated harness with the Deutsch connectors. Their harness will plug in to Trevor's switch panel. If you do try to plug in the two and mix them, it will burn the electronics out on your engine. So make sure that if you have an Inex, you keep Inex, or if you go with Cauble Speed Shop, you keep Cauble Speed Shop. So, yeah. You ready to get the car out?
Yeah, I'll take this car in.
Let's do it. Ready? You can't do anything with the steering wheel because I got the tires up here.
Perfect.
What do you think, Asher?
Meow.
All right, guys, that's our process of getting our car inside on our setup table. So next we're going to get the side panel off the car and get the wiring harness in. You can do this installation with the wiring harness without removing the side panel. However, I want to remove the side panel so that you guys get a good visualization on how the wire routing goes down the chassis and gets plugged into the engine harness in conjunction with the battery cable and the rest of the wiring. So
Let's do it.
let's do it. moving on to the wiring harness, here's the the factory harness that came in the car. It's old. I don't know how old it is, but you can see that these switches versus the 5-star switches, these have potential points of failure with the Phillips head screws backing out of it. And there's also just extra wires in here, and so again, Brantley and I just found this too. I'll show you guys. Check this out. Who knows how long it would have been before this screw ended up backing all the way out, and then now we're sitting on the starting line trying to get the car to fire, and it's just not doing anything because unfortunately the wire came unhooked. So with Trevor's design, I'll get it opened up real quick. You can't really see inside of here, but there's no there's no potential points of failure with those. And Trevor, they solder all of their connections instead of these being, I think these are just crimped on. So we're gonna get that switched out. I wanted to pull the body off so that you guys could get a good visualization of what it's like on the back side, so that whenever you're at the track and you're installing the the Cauble Speed Shop Bandolero wiring harness, you have a good idea. So we're gonna poke ours through right here. I think I'll get Brantley in the car, see where he likes it, but we're used to being there, so I think I'm gonna put it there. We'll run the new wire back, and then from here it will eliminate this part of the wiring harness because we have the updated one, which is this. So this will go on our engine. But if we didn't want to put this on and we just wanted to continue to using this old one, here's the adapter that plugs into the harness. So we're gonna go ahead and get this harness stripped out and get the car cleaned up and get our catch can off, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right guys, so we got our wiring harness unplugged up here from the front half. We'll went ahead and unplugged the rear half of it, and then we got to get our 12-volt positive wire off of the battery like so, and voila. So we'll set this to the side so that we'll have an extra, and then we'll work on getting these out. 9/16. Guys, if y'all haven't grabbed one of these small wrench sets from Harbor Freight, they're absolutely amazing.
I would recommend doing that.
Unplug our rev box. Which starter button is?
Yeah, but about the console, so it's actually.
It rivets to the panel, son.
I'll show you now. We're back.
These wires poke through, and this rivets to the panel. I don't understand what you're confused about.
Well, it's only holes. And I understand like that would go in, but like it's only gonna go to like there.
Just wait a second, and I'll show you what's going on. Jeez.
It's so dirty.
That disassembled. Set that to the side. All right, guys. Now we got that disassembled. Now we just need a hole big enough to get our plug through the firewall. So here's our old holes. So I think what I'll do is I'll just maybe just cut between here with my oscillator tool. What do you think? You think we should drill a hole, or you think we should cut a rectangle?
I just want this to be in there.
All right, guys. So we got the new wiring harness hooked up to the old engine harness via the conversion pigtail. And I was a little confused because on our old harness, we had this wire that went to the 12 volt. And then on Cauble's harness, there's no wire. It just plugs straight into the harness. And I was like, where is it getting the power from? B, and do the honors. Do it again. One more time. It's on that compression stroke.
Yes, it works.
That's so smooth. All right, stop. New harness through.
Yeah, I think we with that.
Got rev blocks plugged in. we'll get this harness zip tied to the roll cage. And then for now, we have the conversion harness. So easy, you can do it one-handed. Check that out. Score. We'll get that nice and secured. Give her a old test.
Positive?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, it works.
Shut it off. Try to hit the starter button. Nice.
Sweet.
Score. All right, let's get this old catch can off. Not gonna lie, I'm super excited not to have to deal with this greasy catastrophe anymore.
Do we need those bolts for the washers and stuff for the new one or no?
No, I don't think so. Did you really just crop dust me?
No.
Axel. Bruh, you farted, you stink. You don't stink so much. Guys, look how dirty and nasty this thing is. Like, all of this stuff, you know, has the potential to get underneath the tire, so it's a good thing that we're putting this new catch can system on here. Get our tube all cleaned up.
Gotta get the bearings done.
A lot of stuff. Bearings, clean the chassis, gotta clean the windshield.
Gumbo, pan fried, deep fried, stir fried. There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp.
Oil, gotta service the clutch, gotta service the chain. And literally gotta do the whole car.
I guess that's the good thing about the long break we
Where's that
have.
cleaner spray at?
Cleaner spray. The foam stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no idea. What's it?
Guys, carpet cleaner.
It's amazing.
Best stuff.
If you leave it on too long, it'll take the paint off of us. You gotta do quick. That's the one thing to be cautious about.
Guys, I'm still so impressed with this Cauble harness. This thing is so sleek.
I love it too.
Take you a zip tie, crease it. Makes it easier to grab.
It's cool.
Somebody cuts those arms. All right, guys. This is a Cauble Speed Shop oil catch can system for the Bandolero. Got a remote breather, which allows all of the oil vapors to be relocated to, you know, behind the rear tire, which is going to be awesome. Keeps everything clean in front of the tire. The catch canister itself.
Wow.
Inside of the box, we have some do's and some don'ts with some zip ties, 2 mounting clamps, the rest of the breather tubes, 3 hose clamps. Let's get this thing bolted on. And on the mounting clamps, you'll find a, hole for them to slide on. Our box. So it says out. This is correct. And then that also gives a nice little protective finish right here to keep from scratching your chassis. We got old Musketeer over here. Oh nice, I just noticed he's got rubber heat shrink or something over the U-bolts to keep from tearing up the chassis. Nice, thanks Trevor. That was slick right there. That's when you know that you got a product made for racers, made by racers. Seems like he's thought of everything. All right, look at there, no welding. All right, put her down. Okay. This comes with a few zip ties. We'll put it there, and if I'm wrong, Guys, please correct me in the comments. Like, I understand that it should be pointed up like this, so once it cools, it should drain back, which that's how we did it on like the big block stuff. But I think these cans are designed to collect it here versus letting it flow. So this is how we're gonna rock it for now. Our hose clamp. There you guys, there you have it. The new and improved Bandolero catch can system from Cauble Speed Shop. Available at caublespeedproducts.com. Go get one.